Almost. It's fine.
Almost doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count.
Lana knows.
I do.
Logan doesn't.
I don't, unfortunately.
Not you not knowing Brandy, the most best singer of all time. Not okay. It's okay. It's all right.
I should.
It's okay. You're still young, and that's fine.
Have you ever forgotten the? Yep, there we go. Have you ever forgotten the words? Nope, I tried. I was like, I just want to show that I know a Brandy song. Okay.
We get it. You got it. You got it.
He doesn't know it because he's a baby.
Baby. I love David. I love you. Okay. Period. We are gonna jam together. Yeah, I promise you that.
Kia ora, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay, and for once, we started doing these earlier in the day on the day that we filmed these, so it's morning for me, and I'm drinking iced coffee.
Nice.
Because I can, and I made it, and it's really good. I finally learned how to make iced coffee that actually tastes good and isn't watery.
Good for you.
Yeah, I just have to I have to make super strong coffee, and then I'm fine.
Great. I love that for you. And hello, I am Lana, your refreshed resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, I was gonna.
That threw me off.
I was thrown off.
Okay, I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm not drinking anything because I'm refreshed and I'm fine. And I did not even get my cup mug because I didn't have to get anything to drink. But David has it, so go get you a cup mug. Cup mug. Cup mug. At lanagcreations.etsy.com, where you can get all of your official cup merch. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses.
And I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I am wearing a shirt that I'm very excited about for a specific reason. Not only do I have my Jimbo fan, I have my Jimbo shirt, my new Jimbo shirt.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Oh.
And I got this because I'm going to be seeing Jimbo on Tuesday and meeting Jimbo on Tuesday. So
I know
I'm so excited.
Well,
Not
so
only did I get to meet,
himself.
right, I met Sasha Colby a few days ago, and I'm about to meet Jimbo, and they were my two favorites from their 2 seasons, and they both won. So it's just going to be an amazing.
So I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you now to be on the hunt to meet all of the current reigning queens
when they come to your town.
Admira Thunderpussy is next.
Okay,
I'm gonna need you to
hop
fly
on over to
Sweden. Actually, I'll tag in because I might be in Sweden in May. So
I'm drinking water. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Eurovision.
Oh,
so, we love that.
And it's in Sverige.
Love that.
Not anywhere near, I think, where Admira lives. It's in Malm. But we're not here to talk about Sweden. We're here to talk about Australia and Aotearoa with Down Under. Woo, Down Under. Queens Down Under. That's still one of my favorite girl group songs of all time. I have to be honest. Not the lyrics necessarily that they all made, but the song. Speaking of girl group, it's girl groups.
Yes, it is.
That's why I made the reference.
Good segue.
This was an episode.
Yep.
Highs and lows. Highs and lows.
High highs and low. Low.
It was peaks and valleys. It was definitely like
Truly.
It was better than last week.
It was better than last week, I will say.
Correct. And we walk back into the workroom. Rita Menu is gone.
I'm still grieving. I'm still grieving. I'm still grieving.
I would have loved to see what she would have done in the girl group, honestly.
Oh, she would have killed it.
She would have killed it.
Former.
Yeah.
She would have.
She did really good in the first episode.
Yeah.
So we will never know.
We will never know.
We've lost our entree, Rita Menu.
Mm.
But we come into the workroom the next day and drama.
Yep.
Out the gate because Flor is coming for Gabby, saying that Gabby should have
reactionary to me though, because I think Gabriella was the first one to kind of bring up the fact that all these people have wins and Flor does not. So I felt like Flor felt cornered, and she's like one of those like, don't poke this bear or I will come for you. And she came for her.
And honestly, I kind of agree with Flor. I was like, Gabriella, you should have been at the bottom last week. Because to me personally, her runway was not great.
Yeah.
And then her performance in Snatch Game was not great. Like, I would have put her in that bottom. Like, she should have been, for me, I would have put her in the bottom. And I was like, I don't think Flor was absolutely off base with what she said. But I do agree with you. I think she was very reactionary because Gabriella was like, we have won and you haven't, and you've been on the bottom. So Flo was like, baby girl, you lucky because they like you. And I was like, not quite wrong, but I get it.
But that's not luck. Like, being likable is kind of a skill. And
being likable is definitely a skill. But the fact
especially being liked so much by RuPaul.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming Gabriella for being liked by Ru. She just got that ornate nature to make Ru like her. And it's not Gabriella's fault that Ru came up with a Gabriella Labucci for her and loves everything she does.
RuPaul can't remember anybody's name. When you get a name from RuPaul, you cherish that for the rest of your life.
And
like that's if Ru can't even remember Jinx Monsoon's name and she's crowned Jinx twice.
It's just crazy.
Like
it's just like, yeah, it's not Gabriella's fault that she is likable because look, I have been told in certain situations, oh, you're too likable, so we have to get rid of you. So and that's a skill. That is a skill where you just it's not her fault. Yeah. But
every time I got dumped, that's what they told me.
See, trash. They are trash.
But I can't today.
They are trash. But I mean, yeah. But I still think it's part of partially something. Because last week, Gabriella's performances were just not good. They were not good. And we can all agree that they were not good. But the fact that Ru still likes her and Ru is like, but I kind of learned to like this girl. It saved her from being in the bottom. I believe it just saved her because she's like, but Gabriella.
She wouldn't have been in my bottom because
she would have been in my bottom.
She worse in challenges, and that's what I'm judging off of.
She would have been
just extra.
She would have been in my bottom 3 for sure.
Who lip synced against Rita again?
It was Flor.
No, I would have kept the same bottom 2.
I didn't say she was bottom 2. I said she would have been my bottom 3.
I know. I'm saying for me, because I'm remembering that Flor lip synced last week.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't saying anything you were saying was invalid.
Oh, really?
I'm saying she wouldn't have been my bottom. She would have been my bottom 3. But it's literally like there's a small margin for me between Gabby and Flor for last week.
Well, thinking of the performance, I'm trying to think of what
Gabby made me laugh a few times in Snatch Game. Flor did not make me laugh.
Yeah, I think yeah. If I had to pick between just for Snatch Game purposes only, then yeah, Flor would have been in the bottom 2, but Gabby would have been in the bottom 3 because they were just right.
I agree with you.
Yeah. That's just that. But
yes. So Ru walks in a cute outfit. This is
lovely. It was her and Ashley Madison matched. Sure.
Oh yeah.
I know. I was like,
how that happen?
Yeah, Ashley pointed that out on Twitter. She has like a tweet that shows like her kind of matching with all like different people throughout the season because she's had similar looks at times, like the same fabric with Ivory for the design challenge.
Yep.
And then her and Rita had the same look. There were a few different ones, so I thought that was funny.
Actually.
Yeah.
Queen of copying Ashley Madison. No, I'm kidding, I love you.
Everybody
I love you,
or everybody wants their style. Like everybody wants to be like Ashley Madison. Why not?
We get a mini challenge. It's the reading challenge.
Oh my god.
In theory.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I have seen only very few reading challenges. I will honestly say this was the worst reading challenge I've ever seen on all the shows that I've watched. Nothing was funny. Nobody was funny. Everybody.
The winner of this week's reading challenge was RuPaul.
Right. Rue's Reese was like, and that was supposed to be a joke. I was like, oh my god.
The funniest thing in this reading challenge was when Isis finished, Rue goes, and you had to write that all down?
I was like, you had to write those down? I was like, oh.
I thought the start of Bumpa's read for Ashley was kind of funny.
Mm.
And then it fell off.
So do you all have like somebody you would have given the win to? Like if you had to?
If I was forced.
Bumpa. Bumpa's the only person that I chuckled at your bottom's hungry too. I chuckled.
Yeah.
So I would say Bumpa. I would say Mother Bumpa for me.
See, I actually didn't think Gabriella was too bad, so I would have given it to her. I felt like some of the girls were specifically not giving her anything, just giving her a cold stare when she gave her reads. And I think it might have been because of a little bit of stuff that went on before the reading challenge. But I do think Gabriella would have been my winner, but not by a lot.
I'm trying to think of what she said.
I don't even remember at this point.
I'm like, because I watched it last night.
The only person's read I remember is Bumpa. So,
Ashley did tweet out some of her reads that apparently didn't make the show, and I'm like, wait, did you really give those? Because I don't see why they wouldn't have made the show, and I don't see why you wouldn't have been the winner.
I don't know.
Because those were pretty funny.
I can't even remember anybody's enough to say who I would have picked. Like RuPaul won to me because that's the only person I laughed at. I remember laughing
RuPaul
at.
should have kept that $2,500.
Give it to the pit crew. I was like, give it to the pit crew.
That's kind of funny though.
It's back from the pit crew.
I was like, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, yeah, Ben should win for standing there and having to listen to that nonsense. Because I was like, that was bad.
Also,
all of them were bad to me. Every single last one of them. I was like,
I was like, oh, hi, Ben.
I was like, hey, Mr. Bear. Ben. Hey, Mr. Hairy Chest Bean.
He's all yours.
Thank you.
He's definitely Logan likes a big old bear burly man.
Nothing wrong with that.
When he came out, I was like, oh, that's a Logan thirst trap for me.
God. I'm gonna move on
but I was like, okay, whatever. That's fine. But yeah.
Anytime there's a thick boy in a pit crew anywhere, I'm like, yes. And then usually thirsting. So, you know.
Yeah, I agree with the winner of this challenge because I thought they were all bad. I can't even pick one who I would give it to because I can't remember nothing they did.
Fair. But so for our maxi challenge this week, we are doing our standard, as per usual, third annual top 6 girl group, except it was only the second annual because on season 1 they did the top 8.
Oh.
I forgot, and I realized in this moment I was like,
okay, I was like, that's kind of a weird way to phrase it.
No, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, they've done it at top 6 every season. No, they haven't. Because I was also thinking of who went home in each girl group challenge, and on Down Under, the girl group challenge is when they send home my faves. Every season, it's been someone that I really enjoy going home at girl groups. Because season 1 it was Coco, season 2 it was Yuri, and we'll talk about who went home this episode. But I was like, oh. Well,
but can we first talk about the fact that they actually let Ben divide up?
I love
that.
Ben got to pick the group.
I mean, because he won the mini challenge, and
he won the mini challenge outright.
Whoever would have won would have picked anyway. So Ben picked, and Ben was like, "You over there, split it down the middle."
I love that we got the confessional from Ashley being like, the only person I don't want to be in a group with is Bumpa. So the teams are Flor, Bumpa, and Ashley.
You know, Ben, you didn't do a very good job of making this an even divide
No.
because you picked probably the 3 frontrunners to be in the same
You
group.
picked what could potentially, in some universe, be the top 3.
Yep.
And then the
That's
other
what happened
3.
last year, right?
That's literally what happened last year. Is that Hannah, Queen, and Spanky were a girl group, and they ended up as the top 3. I got to watch the Babs performance again because it popped up on my on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that is just a really good girl group performance. I'm like, oh yeah.
I do think that's the top 3, and I'm like, oop, well, put them in that 3.
No shade to anybody else.
No shade to anybody else, but I kind of feel like
this cast has been amazing top to bottom.
Yeah.
We said that the whole
We
season.
love
We're
them.
going to keep saying it. But like, based on track record at this point, those are the 3 people with wins. Plus Ashley on the other team. But like,
and Ashley was not happy. Ashley was like,
Ashley was not thrilled.
Ashley looked over and wait. But my favorite part of the whole workroom scene is Ashley longingly looking over at the other side, like, I should have been there.
I want to be where the front
people
are.
I want to be there. I was like, y'all so shady. Stop showing her looking like, I don't want to be over here. I want to be over at the cool kids table. Like,
Literally.
it was so crazy and funny. I laughed so hard at that, but I don't know where I want to go next because I know where I want to go. So y'all just direct where you want to go.
Where do you want to go, Lana?
Because the first picking of the names, and they was just like 80s, and Bumpa going through her thing. 80s.
The only one alive during the
80s.
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 That's not shade. That's a fact.
80s. She's like, the 80s is a blur for me.
Look, we were
You know
alive
what,
during the
Bumpa?
80s.
I'm glad it was. I hope you had the most fun.
Baby, the 80s is a blur for a lot of people who lived through the 80s. It's like, ooh, what happened in the 80s? I don't remember everything. But yeah, I was like, she was like, I can't think of a name. And I was sitting there home like, what I call my name? A girl group 80s related. How? And then when they came up with the name, I was like, and then they picked the most basic name ever.
It was it's cute.
But it's Flora, Ashley, Bumpa. I was like, that makes sense. F.A.B. Got it.
I like that they added F.A.B International. I thought that was cute.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, yeah,
but that was cute.
It's in the girl group, then it ends up being F.A.B International. I was like, that's cute.
That's cute. I was like,
and obviously the whole thing is inspired by the 80s film BMX Bandits, which I've never seen. Yeah. I've been told it's really good, but I've never seen it. So let us know if we need to watch it.
Yes, tell me if it's good or not. And it better be good if I'll go back and watch it. If it's not, I'm gonna come back to the comments and be like, you told me it was good. And I watched it and it was trash. But
y'all said that.
Y'all said that. But no. Tell me it was good if I need to watch it.
Y'all told her it was funny. I blame y'all.
But then, because with their name and then the other people's names, I was like, oh, okay. They picked decent names. It was decent names. Sexy and SNS. I was like, all right. Sexy and Stupid. I was like, Sure. Great. Then, lovely, fine. But I was like, oh no, Gabriella has no voice. And I was like, that is a singer's worst nightmare, is to tell them they have to go record something and they lose their voice. And I was like, oh, I felt.
I loved Michelle's reaction when she was like, oh,
girl. Gabby was like,
Michelle, I was really tickled by Michelle in this episode. And like, I'm going to be honest, on Down Under, Michelle isn't always like the most prominent character, where I feel like on the US franchises, she's very like, you always hear from Michelle. And for some reason in the Down Under editing, we're not getting a whole lot of Michelle. I mean, we got her fabulous looks. All of her looks have been great, in my opinion. But like, we haven't been really getting a whole lot of like fun Michelle. And I was excited to get fun Michelle in this episode. I love Michelle. So
it was good. I think when she when Gabrielle came up, she was like, she was like, oh. And I was like, oh no. But I loved how Gabriella pivoted and made this work for Gabriella. In that moment, she was like, I ain't got no voice. What am I gonna do? I'll make it a character. I'll change it where the character is somebody who smokes 10 packs a day, 2-3 packs a day.
love
And
She's
it's
so
like,
smart.
she's so stinking smart, like so stupidly smart. And I was like, and this is where I was like, the name makes sense. It's sexy and stupid because it's like, yes, this is a stupid thing. Like this whole BMX bandit thing is crazy, kooky, stupid kind of thing, funny. And Gabrielle was like, I'm gonna lean into the stupid side of it all, and y'all lean into the sexy part of it all, and we just gonna make it work. And I love that. And her character was great with the voice that she was able to produce. And when she did it, her first thing, I was like, oh, that's it. She don't need to do it again. I hope that's, and Michelle was like, oh, that's it. I was like, that was perfect. And she sounded like somebody who didn't smoke 2-3 packs a day. And her voice is all gravelly. And she was, and I thought her verse was fun. I thought everything about that. I was like, Gabrielle is so dang smart. We blasted her last week that she wanted because she gave us the bad last week, but she came back with the good this week. This was so stinking good. And I was like, I can't, like when they were rehearsing it, I was like, I can't wait to hear what the finished thing is going to be and how they portray this, because I think everybody did. Isis had some problems during their recording. I was like, oh boy,
that voice was a choice.
Voice was a choice. I was like, and Michelle was like, why don't you speak it? Why don't you just talk? And she still was trying to sing. And she was like, no, just, I know Michelle was like, baby, you should just rap. Don't do it. Don't sing it. Just rap. But she didn't want to say that. But she was like, just talk it. No, you're still singing it. Just talk. Just talk. And I was like, oh, I hope they got it. I hope they figured something out, because the singing was not working for Isis.
Yeah.
I just,
on the topic of Gabriella's voice, David, I think I'm gonna need you to pull another clip for me, if you could, because when Gabriella's walking on the runway, I need to be able to use the soundbite of her going, "I'm serving fashion on the runway," but in her like really gravelly voice, because I just cackled at it. I don't know what it was. I'm serving fashion on the runway, and it's just so stupid, and I feel like it's worthy of a soundbite. So
very fair.
I'm gonna need that. But yeah, Isis was struggling, and then Ashley is going through it in this episode, and they are both just, they go to their filming with Michelle, and Ashley's just not getting it. And she's not getting it.
no.
And Flor and Bumpa do a pretty good job. Bumpa's like speeding through the whole thing.
Bumpa, she put too many words in that verse. She was like, I'm like, baby, you take out a couple of them bumpers, take out a couple of them humpers, and take out a couple of them rumpers, and you got it. Like, just one rump, I'm a rump, bump, bump, and a bump, bump, bump. Not I'm a rump, bump, 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 and a bump, 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 and a hop, 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 and a bump. I'm like, no, take out.
I'm like, did you not learn from Ivory when she had the same sort of issue?
Right, take out just a couple of the words. Just I'm a rump, bump, bump, and a pump, bump, bump, and a bump, bump, bump. That would have sounded perfectly. You ain't have to put 4 in there. I'm a rump, 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 and a pump, 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 and a bump, 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 and a hop, 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 hop. I'm like, it's too many words, Bumpa. But it wasn't as bad as Ashley's, because Ashley's was just so monotone. It was like, I'm gonna go and I'm and it was like no deflections of any kind, no kind of nothing. It was straight. I was like, oh, Ashley, I like you. I really, I want the best for you. I want all the goodness for you. I adore you, but I need you to. She was just stuck in her head, and it's when you're put on the spot to perform something, and you put it in front of the microphone, and it's like, start performing. And if that's not what you do, even if it's like, I don't go in recording studios often, I'm not a singer, and people don't know how much deflection and little cadences and things that you the highs and the lows. That makes the song. The dynamics make a song. Anybody can sing a song, but you got to know the dynamics of the song. Because you can be like, and if I fall,
Right.
and if I come, I got my way. But you got, and if I fall, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the song. And people need to. She just was not giving any dynamic. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
the worst part is when Michelle's like, well, I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. It's like, oh, there, I think you're in danger.
Right, she was like, time-wise, we gotta go.
You're in
Because
danger,
you're in
girl.
danger, girl.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, dang. Then we moved to the choreo. And I was like, this choreographer is insane. First
The
of all,
choreographer.
the choreographer. The choreographer.
The choreographer, Corey Baker.
Choreographer.
He seemed like a lovely homosexual. Why the hell are we making them do choreo with bikes? I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
I get it.
However, comma,
indeed.
no.
You don't need the physical bike to make it like you're doing a bike choreography.
This is giving, and Lana, I'm sorry to make another reference that you have from a season you haven't watched. David, I don't know if you're going to agree. It gave me Dragaton from UK. It gave me the Dragaton challenge when they're on the bikes and they're doing all the things and there's so much happening.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
It gave me a little bit of that. I was like, oh no. I was getting flashbacks. It's infamously, for people who haven't watched UK, it's infamously one of the worst Drag Race challenges of all time. Like, just bad across the board. Not from anything the Queens did, but just the ambition of Oti Mabuse, who is one of my favorite people. I love her. It was just very ambitious, and it didn't come together.
Yep. Oh, by the way, you can have Ben the pit crew member. I'll take this choreographer.
That's fine. I will gladly take Ben from the pit crew over this lovely homosexual. You can have him all you want.
Yes.
There was nobody for me in this episode. Thank you.
Oh.
What about Rachel Hunter?
Oh, she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
I'll take Rachel Hunter.
Hasn't she been a guest judge before? She was very familiar to me.
You're asking me?
No, I was mostly asking David.
David's like,
She was very familiar to me. I looked it up. I didn't see her anywhere, but I was like, I feel like I know her from something.
David said, I don't care about guest judges. Keep it moving. No, I don't know. She was lovely. She was a lovely human being, and I was like, oh, I know her. I actually seen her before, so yeah, good.
She was on Drag Race before.
Lovely.
She was on All Stars.
Good on you.
She was on All Stars 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that. But yeah, but I thought the choreo, I was like, I thought it was again, like you said, very ambitious. Very ambitious. I didn't think bikes were necessary to have a choreo, a bike. It just seems very literal to me to actually have the bikes, but it's fine. It was fine. People struggled. Isis was not doing so well. I think a lot of the recording stuff still was in her head about and going into the choreography. I don't know if the timeline was that order, if they did the recording first or in the choreo second. I don't know, but that's what they showed us, so I'm just going to think. But the fact that I feel like her space was off and she just couldn't get the choreo. Same thing with Ashley. I feel like they both were so like in their own head and in their own way about the recording and how their song was going that they couldn't even focus on the choreography that well. And there was a lot. I would have been very confused with that choreography. And I think I pick up choreography pretty decently, but I would have been like, this is a lot. You want me to flip this bike and wheel it over and slide across and move across and wop, 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 wop. It was a lot. It was a lot of hands down and pop, pop and moving. And I was like, that is a lot of choreography you're trying to give these people in a day. And I don't know how much time they got with him. Then we got to go off and practice on our own. What if we practice it wrong? And it was a lot. It was a lot.
we go back into the workroom and everything, like Isis spiraling, Ashley spiraling, everyone concerned. It's just like, oh no. I felt like I thought it was going to be so scripted that I was like, oh, this is our bottom two. Oh no. Like, what kind of? But I was like, oh no. Like everyone and then they come into the workroom the next day to do the actual stuff, and Ashley's still like, I'm not here. And I was like, no. And then it didn't get better.
She's like, I want to go home, but I don't want to go home. I was like, no.
No, Diva, no. But I mean, we're there. So let's talk about
David, you
Let's
have
do
anything? Oh, you ready?
No, I'm ready to talk about it. But I will say I didn't mind the bikes being part of the choreography. I get that it could complicate things, but I kind of thought it was an interesting touch.
Mm-hmm. Always interesting.
Let's talk about our first group. This is F.A.B International, Flor, Ashley, and Bumpa.
This looked like Bumpa was the Beyonce, and then she had her Kellys and Michelle's behind her. I was like, why this outfit so completely different from Ashley's and Flor's?
So
completely different. Like it was not even part of, like they were her backup dancers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if she put that on purpose or she just didn't have nothing that kind of looked like that, and they just happened to have something that kind of looked like that. I don't know, but it just seemed completely out of, like, it don't go together.
I was definitely wondering what prompt they had that had them bring these looks, because it's amazing how well Flor and Ashley go together.
I know.
Yeah. So they must have had something like pretty specific, like 80s.
I was going to say, did one of them have this as like a potential makeover? And maybe one of them had the other one borrow it. I don't know. But also, Holly had a very similar color scheme for hers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know.
It was weird.
For me, Bumpa stood out for the wrong reasons. I was like, Flor and Ashley look like a great duo, and then Bumpa's just, I think Bumpa looks great.
And I was so nervous when she came out on that bike at the beginning of this. I was like, oh, stop, girl, because I was like afraid that she was just going to ride it over the edge.
It was, Bumpa stands out for not a great look for me, because this is not a good look for me. But they were talking about Flor's outfit being ill-fitted and bad, and I was like, y'all ain't gonna say nothing about Bumpa's outfit? Because
y'all aren't gonna say anything about Bumpa's outfit, period.
Because as much as I love me, I love me some other Bumpa, but this outfit was not the best, and I was like, and it just stood out for the wrong reasons. Now, was Flor's outfit didn't fit well? Sure. Because I agree with you. I think it was maybe borrowed. I don't think it was something she bought. It was probably borrowed. But I don't think it was as bad as they were making it out to be. I don't know.
But can we talk about their performances and their verses? Because I have a standout.
Sure, go ahead.
I think we all might agree, but for me, Flor was definitely the best of this.
Oh, for sure. Flor killed.
Yeah. I kind of felt bad for her because I'm like, if they were doing a group win, I think what she did was definitely worthy of a group win, because that's what they did last year. The winning group, they all got wins. So I was kind of expecting that this time. But yeah, I thought Flor, she looked natural. She really didn't have too many flaws for me. Any floors?
No, Flor did great, but the only problem with Flor being so good is it showed how not great Ashley and Bumpa was, and that's why for me that win for the group couldn't happen, because one person in the group doing well and two people doing not so great is interesting.
True,
but I definitely think Flor was the standout for all of them, and I didn't think her outfit was that bad. That was me personally. I didn't think it was that bad. They were very nitpicky. I didn't think it was that bad.
No.
Do we have a second place out of this team? Because I do.
Bumpa.
Bumpa.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
It was she made it work with that verse. Like I was very nervous she wouldn't be able to mouth the words correctly, but
She still dropped some of them.
yeah, but it wasn't as bad as I expected. I think what really helped her is that our expectations were set pretty low.
Yeah. And you know what? But I will say this about Ashley. She looked best of everybody. She
That's
looked the
true.
best. I was like, Ashley looked great. And I love
She-
her little ponytail. She's so cute.
I would say her looked the best, but actually watching her, she definitely seemed uncomfortable and out of place. So that part of how she looked didn't quite work.
Yeah, her outfit looks good. She looked the best out of. She didn't perform the best, but she looked the best for sure.
And I love Ashley, and
do.
It's hard to see her like take such a steep fall.
Yeah, especially after last week's Snatch Game, she was so good and so great,
funny,
so dang funny. And then
she
this
was
week,
a standout, the clear standout last week for the best, and for me, the clear standout for the weakest in the challenge.
Yes, I agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
I had to pull this just because
It was so good.
It's actually the only time all three of them are this close enough to get a single group shot. And this is at the very end. So this is Isis, Gabriella Labucci, and Hollywood Star doing Sexy and Stupid.
They clearly was the better trio. Clearly, it was so much better. Like hands above the rest. It was such their chemistry. They moved well together. They performed well together. They looked great. And even with Gabriella in the green and Hollywood and Isis in the pink, it wasn't off-putting. It wasn't like how Bumpa was, like she's Beyonce and everybody. It was like, because
it had a better flow to it.
Right, because Isis has green on her wrist.
And I was going to say Holly has the scrunchie.
Right, Holly has a green scrunchie. Gabriella's wearing pink tights. So it was one of those, we're going to be different, but together. We're going to be different, but we coordinate. And so that was why they didn't coordinate. Like Bumpa didn't have on any pink and didn't have on, or very little. Like that leopard skin top was completely unnecessary with, it just didn't have no flow. It had no flow with the rest. They at least looked like they were a group together.
And I love Isis's makeup in this challenge. It looks so good.
I think they all look good. Even Gabriella, when she was like, let's be stupid, and she put the black on the teeth, and she had her pack, and she had a little prop, and it was so dang. From the moment they stepped out, I was like, they won. Clearly they won.
And I want to see if we have similar rankings. Since we had the same rankings for the other group, I wonder if we do for this one. I think we probably all have the same number one.
Oh, Hollywood 8.
Yeah, it was
Hollywood 8
for me.
For me,
Logan.
For me.
Okay.
Hollywood 8 down for me in this one. I'm sorry, but what's our second?
That's tough though, because first of all, I want to say Isis. Like I was floored by how well she did. Because yes, I was floored by how well she did because I just was not expecting good things based on how the rehearsals went. But she really nailed it. I think for the character, I think Gabriella would be my second, but not by a lot. All three were really good though. This could have been a group win, but I'm not mad that it was not.
I would probably tend to agree. I think Gabriella, then Isis, but like not even a then. Gabriella and Isis would be they tied for second for me. No, but because they were both so good, and I think all three of them were good. Hollywood just stood out, but I think Gabriella and Isis was just neck and neck for that next position.
I would agree.
Yeah, because they did so good. I was not expecting Isis to be this good because I was like you said, for the rehearsal, I was like, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but she got it together, and she went and she practiced and she got it together, and they came out and they ate. Like this was the best performance. They ate, hands down.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Speaking of eating,
this
Category
runway ate.
Category is Fuschia. I don't even know her, aka Fuschia Futuristic. Because half the damn people did a futuristic look, but okay.
It was fuchsia. I was like, is it the color fuchsia? Or are we doing future? But sure. Well, I loved it.
First up, Gabriella Labucci.
I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
Yes! Thank you, David. I'm so excited.
That's why I got quiet for a few minutes.
I'm so excited.
Play it one more time.
On the runway. I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
I'm so excited. Oh my
I love that.
I'm serving fashion
tonight
tonight.
on the runway. It's so good.
I love that. I love David has backstage access.
I know.
Yeah.
Put stuff in there like we didn't even know what's happening. I love that
Because now we have our holy trinity.
Yes.
I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
I love it.
What a trifecta.
What a trifecta.
With that being said, this look is shit. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, I love this. I love this look. I love this metallic fuchsia that she went for. The only thing I have an issue with, and it's not even that big of an issue because the hair and the boots match, but I wish all of the fuchsias were the same.
I like the breaking up.
I do too.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I feel like it'd be too much if all of them were the same. It'd be like, oh my god, now she's just like, could you imagine that fuchsia hair, that same color fuchsia as the hair, and then it'd be too one note. I think the breaking up makes it more interesting for me, and because she got that gun, which matches the hair and which matches the boot, and it's like, okay, these are just the accessories to this beautiful fuchsia metallic outfit. Because it's gorgeous. I was like, okay, Miss Glip, you have come back 10 times better than last week, Miss Labucci, because I have nothing to say. We can't crap on you this week. And I know you want us to. We can't do it because, baby, you're giving the look. And I love her reasons for 3 space buns. She's like, I know people do 2 space buns, but I just like 3. So I'm going to give you 3. And I was like, you give us the 3 space buns. I think Gabriella looked amazing on this runway.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if she said what her inspiration was for it. Did she? I don't remember.
Future.
Okay, but I got 2 kind of references from this. I got a little bit of Fembot from Austin Powers, and then I also got a little bit of Rocky Horror at the very end, similar to the look that Rita did a few weeks ago. But I thought that was a nice combination. I don't know if those were her actual inspirations, but I really love this, and her makeup looks so good, and this wig is everything to me. And I'm looking at her Instagram, like, it looks even better in this Instagram. But wow,
yeah,
great job, Gabriella. You're making it hard on us to critique you.
Can't be mad. We can't come back and be like.
You want to know why I can't be mad?
I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
You did.
Yes, you did.
Scores.
Oh, fool. Stop it.
Let me give Gabriella an 83.
I'm going to give it a 96. Isis, Avis, Loren. Girl.
Girl.
Where's my banner?
Girl.
David, I'm going to need you to lean for just a second. I'm so sorry. Girl. Isis, Avis, Loren. You fucking bitch. And it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Head to toe, I love this whole look. Like, I love this wig. I love this outfit. I love her makeup. And the fact that she was like, I made this, I was like, yeah, I agree with you. I'm not going to say it because y'all know I ain't going to say it.
You fucking bitch. I said it.
Yes, thank you. Because I want to sew like that. I want to make gowns and dresses and beautiful things for myself. Like I don't want to make it for anybody else because that takes up all my time. But I want to make clothes for myself that looks like that. She looks great in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely really like this. I'm probably going to sound like the critical one here, but that's okay. I'm used to it. So I did you all get a little bit of Irene the alien from this? Because that's kind of
No.
what I was getting from her face a little bit, and I love that because I love me some Irene. Um, and I also really love the hands. So everything with the makeup, the hair, the hands, I really love. And I do like her outfit as well. I just don't know if it's as extreme as everything else going on. So I would have liked something as bizarre with the garment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just so it's all kind of consistent in that way. It felt a little bit tamed down for
Mm-hmm.
everything else that was going on, but I still really like everything. I think I like it a little bit as two separate concepts better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but overall, she's still getting a high score for me. So
That actually makes a lot of sense, and I can
yeah,
agree with that. Looking at, it, I'm like, yeah, the extreme hair, the extreme makeup look is kind of not as extreme, but it could
right,
have been if she wanted.
right.
But yeah, I get
Bigger
you.
shoulders at least.
Like right, some pointed shoulders to go with the pointed hair. Oh my god, that would have
Mhm.
been that would have ate. That would have ate. Or some exaggerated hips to go with the
Yeah.
that would have ate. That would have ate down. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Score. Logan, do you have anything? Or that's it? Scores? We at scores.
Scores.
I will give this a 95.
I'm gonna give it an 88.
96.
Lovely.
Nice.
Hollywood Star.
Miss Mahogany. Miss
Do you
Diana
know where you're
Ross.
going to, girl?
Do you know where you're going to, baby? I was like, yes, Diana Ross. Yes, Mahogany. Give it to Mia. She looked amazing. She looked gorgeous. This fuchsia was beautiful. The light hit it perfectly. Miss Hollywood Star never misses on the runway. Thus, this whole entire season, she has not missed on the runway for me. Even when people made her safe, I think she was safe because of performances, not because of runway. She does not miss on the runway, period.
Yeah, I agree. This is not a miss at all. Um, I think some of the people did like really unexpected things this week, and maybe this isn't the most unexpected thing, but she looks so damn good in it. So there's really not much you can complain about. And I love the reference. I love the turban. We don't get to see turbans too often on the runway. So yeah, she really did well with this, of course.
I think it's great. I think she looks incredible. I'm gonna be ever so slightly critical. There's just something that I think would have taken it completely over the top for me. But this is not a bad look by any means. I'm missing something, and I don't know what it is.
I mean,
But she's
because
gorgeous still.
I think because like I think what David says, everybody was doing unexpected,
Mm,
something bigger, something grander, and
Maybe
she
I don't
gave
know.
us a simplistic but beautiful look. It's not over the top. It's not extreme, and I
it's
don't need
very
everything
true to the original too.
right. And no,
Yeah,
everybody doesn't need to be extreme for me. I think for me
Right.
personally, I don't need extreme for every situation. I don't need over the top for every situation because sometimes simple is just gorgeous. And that's what this is. I think it's simple, but it's simply gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you can't ask for more than because if she would have did something too big or something else, it would have thrown off the whole look for me. So I
Mm,
think she just gave us what needed to be done. The perfect silhouette, the turban, the
yeah.
big muff. It was like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, it
I
wasn't
definitely
extreme.
see where both of you are coming
Mhm.
from. Like, I actually really like a good homage to the original, but I also really like the drag up version
Mhm.
of the original. So I really think either one of them could have worked for me. This works, and I think doing something more extreme would have worked for me as well.
mhm.
Mhm.
Scores.
I'm gonna give this a 98.
I'm gonna give it an 81.
96. everyone's getting a 96 today. I guess.
Not that.
And next
Not
up
this.
is Mother Bumpa.
This ain't getting no 96 from me. Because I was like, where's the fuchsia?
I didn't
Where's the
even think about it.
corset?
And on the sleeves.
And
A little bit.
the tulle.
Baby, there's pieces of fuchsia.
Most of it is fuchsia.
Most of it is purple.
Yeah, I get more purple overall.
The corset is a glittered fuchsia.
It looks glittered purple.
Okay, it's this angle, and the fact that the lighting was bad.
I looked watching it. It gave me glittered purple.
Oh, it gave me fuchsia.
It gave me.
I got more purple for sure, but it was not enough for me to even think about it not matching the theme. I could see either way looking at her Instagram, but I do get more purple. Personally, though, I'm such a big fan of I Dream of Jeannie, so I love that reference. Like, that was my show when I was a kid. I would watch Nick at Night, and yeah, I had a little bit of a crush on Barbara Eden. So yeah, I actually do like this look for Bumpa. I feel like it fits her very well. Like, this is her style. She doesn't really go much out of her style, which I can completely respect. So yeah, I don't know if it was the best at fitting the category, but I still enjoy it because I enjoy her and I like what she does.
I love Bumpa, but I feel like this was my worst look of the night, but it wasn't bad by far. It was not like I'm going to be like, oh, she gets a 30. Absolutely not. Because it was not a bad look. It just wasn't my favorite look. I do get more purple than fuchsia, but that's fine too. It's whatever. I do love a Jeannie look. I too loved I Dream of Jeannie, and I too watch I Dream of Jeannie all the time back in the day. And I'm older than David, so it wasn't just at Nick at Night. It was actually on. But I like I Dream of Jeannie, and I like this look. I just don't like it for the theme.
I like it. I think it fits the theme enough. Because there was also someone else who didn't necessarily serve exactly fuchsia either, and I still enjoyed the look for the runway category. Mm. So I think it's still fine. I think it's a good look. I like it for Bumpa. I love this ponytail on Bumpa. Yeah. Scores.
I'm gonna give it an 85.
I'm gonna go with 73.
I'm also gonna give it an 85.
Was this the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's not fuchsia, but it's gorgeous.
But it's gorgeous.
But it's gorgeous. Like, she walked out and I was like, this is gorgeous. But it's not fuchsia. I was like, did you not get the fuchsia reference? Or what reference did they send you that they didn't send everybody else? Because this is pink. But it's gorgeous.
Before I forget about it, was Bumpa being serious when she said ISIS made her look?
That was Ashley who said it.
It was Bumpa.
It was Bumpa.
It was Bumpa who said it. Because
I could have sworn it was Ashley.
No, because
that's 100% Bumpa.
Yeah, because they were like, she was Rue like basically implied that ISIS is a bitch for not giving her something that was actually fuchsia.
I could have sworn.
Nope, it was 100% Bumpa who said that. Mm-hmm. Who they asked, who made your look? And she was like, Ashley, ISIS, Aces Marin. She was like, you. It was 100%. They asked Bumpa that.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's stalling while Logan's looking it up to that we're right.
But yeah,
no, I believe you both. I'm just like,
this was not fuchsia though. This was pink, but it was a gorgeous pink. It was beautiful. When she stepped out, I was like, oh, and then the veil was everything. I was like, I'm living for this veil. I'm living for this look. It's beautiful. It's not fuchsia, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gorgeous. I love
I
that
don't
shit.
I don't get too hung up on how well they match the category. Like, I think there was an attempt here, and that's all that matters to me because I really do like this a lot. Like, the shape of this
Yes.
is so good on her.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a good drag gown. Like, this could have been a simple like gown, but no, she's like, I gotta make it big. I gotta remind people that I'm on Drag Race. And I would not be surprised if she made this herself, knowing her.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah. Oh no, she did not. Scott. Somebody named Scott made it, apparently.
Good job,
Good job,
Scott.
Scott. You did
Great
great.
job, Scott.
Yeah.
That dress is beautiful. And if you want to make me a dress, I will take it. 'Cause
Sorry.
that dress is beautiful. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was beautiful. I can't even scores. It was so beautiful. But if I ding Bumper for the theme, I have to ding Ashley for the theme because it's not fuchsia, but it's beautiful. So I will give it a 90 because it would have been the full for me. If it was me.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 86.
I'm gonna give it a 96.
It was beautiful.
Flor.
This was gorgeous. This was gorgeous to me. I'm trying to think of who I would like. Well, yeah, I already know. But this was like this was fuchsia from head to toe. Like if anybody did head to toe fuchsia, it was Flor. And baby, I was floored by this look. It was beautiful. I love the hair. I loved her makeup. I love this outfit. I love it. Put it in the boots. Everything was fuchsia. And it was crushed velvet. And I'm like, yes, that looks very soft. I want to just go and hug Flor and just rub it up or down because I love the feel of crushed velvet. It feels so good. This was perfection. I think this is my favorite look of the night.
Yeah, it felt like for me, it was a battle between Flor and Isis for my favorite look of the night. And they also had very similar concepts. But what I like about Flor is she actually took that outfit and made it extreme. Like she went weird with it. So that's what gives the edge to Flor for me. She did more beauty makeup, which still absolutely works with this. I love the wig. I love those long fingers. Again, we got two girls with the long fingers. But yeah, this was absolutely beautiful and definitely one of my favorites of the season so far.
I absolutely agree. This is my favorite of the night.
Then put up that banner.
Okay, Jesus. I was literally getting to it, David.
There we
She
go.
did what needed to be done. I was going to say other things, but I guess I don't need to.
You can
Scores.
still say them.
No, it's fine.
Please say them. I'm not going to
No,
score till you say some.
No, just it's fine.
Are we having a tiff again? Because you all love these little tiffs.
Scores. I don't need to say anything else.
All right. Full overflowing.
It's full.
What is wrong with you? I was getting it. I said it.
Well, David's not doing.
It was my turn. It wasn't even David's turn. It was my turn. It was full. It's overflowing. It's great.
I'll give it a 92.
What is happening right now, people?
Well, we got our top group, which is Isis, Holly, and Gabby.
That should be. It should be.
And our winner, as
Deserved.
it should be.
Deserved.
But yeah, there was no question that she was going to win.
Clear.
No question whatsoever.
Clear winner.
Yeah. And our bottom group, obviously, the lesser group. Still not bad by any means of the imagination.
But first, we got the question on the runway. Who should go home and why? Everybody but Hollywood says Flor. And so even the judging panel was like, I wonder why they all said Flor when it shouldn't have been Flor. Because even when we get back to the workroom, Ashley's like, I shouldn't have said Flor. I feel bad for saying Flor. I should have said Bumpa because of, but I don't know. I just didn't say it. I should have said Bumpa. And the judges member was like, everybody looked like they wanted to say Bumpa, but they all said Flor. I don't know why they're scared to say Bumpa when it was obviously it should have been Bumpa. And I was like, why didn't they say Bumpa? It was interesting, honestly. Very weird.
Yeah. And so we end up with Ashley and Bumpa in the bottom, despite everybody saying Flor.
Yeah, it makes sense. They were the worst in the challenge, so.
Yeah. Flor was clearly the best of the three in their group.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of them were just naming Flor because they were looking at the overall track record from the season.
Sure.
And that's not how RuPaul judges. She goes week by week. She's not going to base this on overall.
Exactly. So we get a lip sync to Hot and Cold by Katy Perry.
I like the song. This is what solidified me as a Katy Perry because it was not sold on her first single, but this one definitely won me over. So I'm not mad about it.
I'm mad about it for this lip sync.
I like the song. The lip sync was...
The girls did the absolute best they possibly could with what they were given. It's not a... There are so many other Katy Perry songs you could have picked.
Yeah. I agree with that. Firework would have been better.
They did fire.
I'm sure they've done it already. I'm sure. I mean, but
it took 12 seasons of Drag Race in the U.S. to do Firework.
I'm about to say, if you think about all the Katy Perry songs they could have done, some of them probably might have already been done on other ones. But I don't think this is the
only one was Firework, actually.
Really?
They didn't do Peacock on a season? I thought I've seen that. Oh.
Wow.
Unless it was no, it wouldn't have been Thailand. No, I don't think so.
Nobody did Dark Horse?
No.
Wow. That would have been a good one, I did.
It probably costs a lot to pay for.
Probably. I mean, I don't think this is a horrible song, but I don't think it's the best Katy Perry song that they could have done. I think Katy Perry had other songs, but like you said, it probably cost a lot. Mm-hmm. So they didn't do it. They did the best they could with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about if I agree with the winner or don't disagree with. I think they both did okay.
I agree with the winner, and the reason why I think Bumpa did win this for me is because I felt like Bumpa had more energy that matched the energy of the song. I felt like I think Ashley did a good job, and I've seen clips of Ashley perform, and she's incredible. This is not a song, from at least what I've seen, that's in her wheelhouse. And I don't necessarily think it was in Bumpa's either, but I think Bumpa's energy matched the song a little bit better.
Yeah, my roommate and I were both like, well, that was a tie. So it could have gone either way.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it too. I was like, it could go either way. I don't even know. I was like, who would I pick? I couldn't pick between the two because I was like, I'm gonna let them decide. And be all right with whatever.
It felt like pick whoever you think has more potential, Rue.
Right. Pick who you think will go further in this competition, who you think is going to do better down the line, because right now they both just was very even to me.
And apparently that person is Bumpa, and they send home Ashley. I mean, to be fair, I think she was the worst in the challenge, so I think that is I think with how even a lip sync it was, I think it did come down to performance again, and I think in that case, I think they did make the right decision, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But we love Ashley here.
We love Ashley Madison in this house. She's amazing.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It's very sad to me. But yeah, I think it came down to performance because I feel like their lip sync was so even. It was so even all the way through. And it was like, well, what happened in the show? How do we decide? And yeah.
Yep. We love you, Ashley.
Here.
So, next week, top 5 drag brunch.
You want to know something funny?
Hmm.
I don't know why I was like, Dad, we're down to 5 already?
Yeah.
How long have we been watching this? It felt like I just started watching
5
Down
weeks.
Under. I felt
5
like I just started watching it. And so I'm like, dang,
Well,
we down to
I
5.
think we're so used to the 10 and 12 episode formats
Yes.
that on Down Under, where it's an 8 episode format, it feels a lot more condensed and everything is a bit more condensed.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I mean, then again, you take Drag Race US this season, where season 15 had 16 episodes. So, like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. But yes, we will be back next week to talk about Drag Brunch, top 5. We're almost done with Down Under. Like, oh, and then we have 2 more franchises starting, and one just ended, and one's about to end. And we're gonna get 2 finales back-to-back weeks,
Mm-hmm.
with then Mexico and then Down Under, and then we'll be back to 2 franchises for like a week,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. Who knows? But thank you for joining us. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, share, like, do all the things. Follow on all of our audio platforms. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod for all the most up-to-date Cup news and our funny moments, because we are some funny bitches. Get your merch while you're down in the description. And follow the 3 of us, because we're great too. So, cheers.
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 Goodbye now.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye.